Hello, hello! Name's Anon, welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing you some Wizard of Legend, which is my favorite roguelike of all time. A very, very underrated game. I'm not here to present the game or talk about any newbie stuff like how to unlock items, what items are actually called, that they're called relics, and so on and so forth. I'm just here to have some fun, essentially, and showcase a bunch of my favorite builds, maybe try some challenges and whatnot. So yeah, let's get right into it. Today's build is one of my favorite builds in this game, which I like to call Jump Jugglin. The build idea is fairly simple. You want to spam jumps as much as possible, which, in case you didn't know, give you iframes. So during a jump animation, you are completely invulnerable to any sort of damage. I don't recall whether or not you cleanse status effects like poison, burn, shock, and so on and so forth. I believe you can take any damage from those sources either while jumping, but correct me if I'm wrong. So you want to spam jumps, deal damage, have a lot of impact on the room, and just generally have a good time. It's a very straightforward build. For our robe, we're going to be using the Shadow Robe. Nah, kidding. We're going to be using the Venture Robe, which gives us the damage increase of 10% and cooldown reduction of 10%, respectively. Because, well, you're already broken. You're using completely broken Arcana that make you invulnerable and deal a shitload of damage. Might as well add more damage to the mix. Might as well add more cooldown reduction to the mix so you can keep spamming your broken shit more and more. I'm reading off a script here. It's a little... I'm not really used to this. It's a little odd doing this. So, pardon any stuttering, any slowness. For our starting item, we're going to be going for the Vicious Bunny Ears, which I combine with the Shadow Robe because it kind of looks adorable, but also a little badass. I like it. I like the looks. Bunny Ears, of course, an extremely broken item that whenever you jump, it will ramp up a damage amplification in terms of percentages, up to a maximum of 100% increased damage, which is completely ridiculous. We're gonna be combining this with as many jumps as we can possibly get a hold of, as well as preferably cooldown reduction, signature charge, and the likes, to be able to keep this damage boost up for as long as possible, as often as possible. This counts and contributes towards all Arcana, not just damage Arcana. It is completely ridiculous. I imagine it is incredibly broken on New Game Plus as well. When you got the Chaos Arcana. I don't remember the name of that one. What's it actually called? Absolute Finale, right. When you stack this with something like Absolute Finale, I think you just demolish bosses. Okay. So yeah, you just keep spamming Jump Arcana. Over a short period of time, you get a huge damage boost to everything you do. This basically dictates the way you play this build. You have to go for a bunch of jumps. Jump as much as you humanly possibly can. Alright, next, we got Arcana on our list. For our basic, we're going to be using Air Spinner, which is my favorite basic Arcana in the game. It's just very versatile, it's strong, the upgrade is great, but it's also very good by itself. You can do fun shenanigans, like you use it, it spins a circle of air around you, and it will spin completely around, and it will pierce obstacles, for example. So I can use it here, start hitting this bush, and then move over, and it will still hit the other bush, because the circle is going around you completely. It's very fun. I really love it. And, on top of all that, it will destroy projectiles. For our dash, we're going to be using Entangling Vines, which, oh, what a coincidence, is my favorite dash in the entirety of the game. Though I firmly believe there are not too many fun dashes in the game, but this one is certainly one of them. It's quite new. It pulls enemies towards you, damages them very briefly, and that's it. That's about it. The upgrade is very different, though. It will root enemies, basically as they are pulled, so it won't really pull them all that far, and poison them, which, yeah, poison is a very minor buff, but the root can come in quite handy. Usually I will not upgrade this, because usually I am using this in builds where I like to push enemies off of cliffs or group them up, and rooting them in place, usually unless you have a lot of AoE, like a Tidal Blast or Fireball or something, is not the greatest of ideas. And it's not fun. Usually it can definitely ruin things or make enemies more unpredictable than they should be. And then finally, for our jumps, aka our standard and signature Arcana, we're gonna be going for Blazing Vault, which is certainly an Arcana that I've never used for this build. And you might be able to relate to this, maybe not. I feel like this is a very underrated Arcana. It deals a hefty chunk of damage. Yes, this is indeed a jump, though it kind of looks like a dash. A very slow dash. Deals hefty damage. Has quite a small AoE, actually, for this kind of mighty animation that it has. And the upgrade is terrible. It just ignites enemies. I mean, really? Really? What's this gonna do? Look, I even missed this guy. It has quite a terrible AoE, but we're gonna be combining this mainly with our dash, pulling enemies close together and then immediately jumping through them. The dash has the disadvantage that, yes, it's quite fast, but you pull enemies into you, and enemies that are quite fast will immediately attack you, cancelling anything you do. But a jump, the second I hit this button, I can't be hit, so it's a very fantastic combo. Not only range or AoE wise, but also iframe, so defensive wise, it is fantastic. And then finally, to top it all off, we're gonna be going for Airborne Slam as a signature, which really is one of the few jump Arcana, the jump signature Arcana, and it's the one I prefer because it has quite a wide range. It will hit a huge array of enemies. It slows them, which is fantastic. It's always fun to work with. And melee, because the signature just... oh my god. This thing is fantastic. I love it. It is absolutely fun. Just pure joy. Also, in case you didn't keep track, we now have a potential of 3 debuffs. We have Slow, Ignition, and Poison. Which, yeah, you can definitely cancel a bunch of enemy attacks using those. Beside iframes that a jump will grant you during the animation, you can also jump over attacks using something like Airborne Slam, which also works with the enemy. So if you're standing right in front of an enemy, you'll jump over them and not hit them. Okay, so much for the Arcana and combinations. The intended build playstyle for this is careless, to be honest. Complete carelessness is the way to go. You do not need to be good at the game or anything to use these. These are completely broken, giving you defense, giving you offense, and utility. It's fantastic. All of the jumps are fantastic. You might want to use a different dash maybe, or a different basic. That really depends on you. I just really love these. I think especially Entangling Vines goes really well with this build, and it's quite versatile. I love versatility. Potential problems of this build, it doesn't really have any problems. Like, you won't have damage problems at all. You naturally will have damage. You don't really need defensive items, though. Like, you can pretty much ignore those because you get iframes all the time. You won't be able to take damage. Maybe the low health is a bit of a problem here. 300 HP to someone who's new to the game. That might be a little bit of a dampener, but you could go for a different robe in order to mitigate that. And finally, let's come to recommended items and other Arcana. In terms of other Arcana, you definitely want to stack junk Arcana. Just stack as many as you can, but try to stack good ones. Like Thunderdrop, for example, I strongly dislike. Personally, I think Thunderdrop is not very good by any means, because it's very slow, and it It doesn't look flashy or anything. You might miss it, even though you are the one using it, and so on and so forth. So try to stack good support Arcana, something like a Claymore, something like certain Fire Arcana, like Fireball, for example. They are always a great way to enhance your damage because they already deal a shitload of damage, and giving those Arcana damage amplification, mwah, chef's kiss, is awesome. In terms of items, personally, I would absolutely stack cooldown reduction as much as humanly possible, as well as signature charge, or really, if you can decide, go for signature charge. It's just more fun, spamming a signature. It's a flashy, cool looking, very, very fun to use, and feel good signature. Really, there's nothing bad I gotta say about this one. Except that you can sometimes jump over enemies. So yeah, that's the build. By the way, any damage increases are completely broken because they get amplified. Of course, they get amplified. It's ridiculous. Absolutely redonkulous. In terms of who to avoid, there's no one in particular that you gotta avoid. Shu, as per usual, not the greatest fight you're gonna put up there. You got 2 Wind Arcana and 1 Earth Arcana. You're not gonna be doing too much damage against Shu. And you can't really dodge Shu all that well either, even with jumps. Let's get into it, shall we? Actually, can I avoid Shu, please? Living Courtyards. It's fine. I like fighting Atlas first. Let's have a good time. Every jump is a 15% damage amplification. So just go ahead and jump as much as you humanly can. By the way, the signature, even though the character jumps multiple times, only counts as 1 jump. You can totally rush bosses and mini bosses and all those things quite easily, honestly. The landing timing or the signature timing can be difficult sometimes. For example, right at the landing spot of Blazing World, you can get hit quite easily and you are definitely vulnerable at the end of it. However, you still get iframes, unlike pretty much any other Arcana, so if you fuck up, really, it's always your fault because of poor timing. It does definitely happen a lot, just because of greediness. Greediness is quite common when playing with Jump Arcana. And rightfully so, honestly. I mean, you can just rush bosses, ignore attacks, and so on and so forth. It's quite ridiculous, the things you can do. If I jump in between these barrels, for example, or through the barrels using Blazing Bolt, I will be hit. However, if I use Airborne Slam, it's going to push them away before detonating them. Or, should I say, before I'm landing. I just love Airborne Slam. I wouldn't say it ties the build together, but it works quite nicely. Works very nicely with it. I don't know about Earth Dungeon. Usually I feel kind of paranoid regarding the abilities. Sorry, no, what am I saying? Regarding farming money here. I never know, or never recall, whether there's even money to gain in bushes. I always tend to forget, because I feel like I much more rarely find money in bushes, or in the Earth Dungeon, period. Like here. Do these contain money? I don't know. Send help. The wind dungeon can sometimes be a bit of a bummer, but I mean, that's for most builds, right? Ah, cooldown reduction on movement Arcana. That's fantastic. I was saying the wind dungeon can sometimes be a bit of a plague because enemies evading you, well, doesn't really work well against a build where you cast an ability once to deal damage instead of spamming a lot of abilities. So they're gonna evade your big hits and you're not gonna be able to push them, which can be quite painful to deal with. But again, I personally, I will always avoid Shu if I can. And by avoid, I mean try to talk to the guy once, and if he doesn't present the opportunity, just decline. Alright, that's it. I don't remember what the coupon does. I think occasionally I can buy something for free if I get lucky enough, right? We're not fighting water here, so we're not getting this, we're not getting this, we're not getting this either. Mages are really not a big deal. The chance that any item purchased... Yeah. I guess I'm gonna fetch this early just because I might be able to make it work. And then we got... the archaeologist. I believe that's what he's called. He looks like an archaeologist. Usually I'm not a big fan of not full clearing, aka rushing a floor or rushing a boss, because then you're just missing out on a bunch of fun, to be honest. Like, this is not a challenge or anything that I'm forcing myself through. I'm just playing a fun as fuck build in a fun as fuck run. I want to have a good time for as long as possible, right? Oh, hello. Talking about not rushing... I will usually consider Blazing Bolts to be the main Arcana in this build because it puts in a lot of the work, okay? It does a lot of work for you. Does this work? Yes, it does. Great. I was kind of afraid I would jump above it. Oh, why am I stuttering again? I was kind of afraid I would jump over him. I don't know, it's kind of a weird effect, right? As soon as you sit in front of a camera, you start stuttering and talking nonsense and shit. Don't expect you to relate to that, it's kind of hard to fix. Gonna be honest, I'm not used to talking in cohesive sentences. In fact, that's quite the opposite of how I would usually treat myself. We could grab a key, we could grab this, it's fun. I don't think we'll be needing it. A signature charge, a low health, I mean, none of these are really a great option. All of them are okay defensively, but I like offense. I like myself some offense. I'm hoping for some additional jumps here. Fuck him up, fuck him up. You might hear me say that a lot, that line. I don't know why, I don't know what it is, I'm not a person that shuts up when they play a game, usually. I tend to talk a lot, either with myself, to someone else, or... well, in this case, a mix of both, I suppose. Oh, you silly goose. I always forget what this does. Is it dash cooldown reduction? No, signature charge when healed. It looks similar to the Canvas air item, I believe. Which is also an item I notoriously always forget what it does. I think it's dash related, but I have absolutely no idea. No freaking clue. Absolutely clueless. This map is weird, man. This is a weird-ass layout. I really hope this time I got the game sound and all right. I tend to have a lot of issues with that. In case you didn't know, recording a sound for whatever reason and uploading that sound, but usually it's the recording that causes issues, is not the most trivial thing in the world. It may be easy on the surface, but boy, there's a lot that can go wrong. Man, I am chunking. Just holy shite. %60 damage increase. Great. 400 pennies so far. I'm not sure that this counts as a jump. I'm not sure at all, in fact. I believe it does. This is definitely a jump, but we'll wait on those. Tectonic Drill is a dash, that's for sure. But the Blaze... I'm really not sure. Just keep spamming those jumps. I'm generally not a fan of spells that make me stand still, so even if this is a jump, I don't think it's a very good one. It deals a lot of damage. It is a jump, but compared to other jumps, let's just commit to it. Compared to other jumps, it's not good. Jumps not only are supposed to give me iframes, but also allow me to, I think I'm gonna swap these. Allow me to dash over attacks and then dodge afterwards as well, not just for the duration. Which is what makes them so great. Just keep chaining them, dude. No offense taken, Atlas. Bye-bye. Little fucker. Oh, we get Frozen Bay. That's great. Can I please have the upgrade for any of my starting Arcana? Please. Preferably Blazing Vault, because that's the main Arcana I'll be using for damage. I was not actually sure I would boop all these guys off or not. Hey, we get it. We get what we're asking for. Let's wait. Let's be smart for once in our lives. And actually do what's right. And what we know is right. That's the wrong Arcana. Oh, that's kind of a risk to this build. Selecting the wrong attacks at the wrong time, because you're just so overwhelmed with the choices you got. And boy do we have a lot of choices. I was pretty sure the knights would be that way, but apparently there are no knights even in here. If you have enough jumps and cooldown reduction, you can just keep spamming them. Like for just spam one after another iframes. The seismic jump does not give you iframes, which I had to painfully find out when trying to make it work. But oh my god, it is so terrible. Fadeaway rhythm. This one. It is so goddamn terrible. just a huge-ass nuisance, usually. Okay, I changed my mind. I think Blaze is actually really good with this build, contrary to my expectations, since it combos way better than, say, something like Blazing Bolt. When I do this, I can just immediately press it, and it will be a much safer hit, and it will be a much safer protection from damage, than just spamming another jump, because jumps tend to be a lot slower than on-point abilities, apparently. It's no news to me, in case you're supposing, or assuming, or whichever word you'd like to use here. It's no news to me that this is a very strong Arcana. I was just expecting it to not be very strong in this build. Sometimes being stuck in place is a very, very useful tool, especially for a build that absolutely cannot get stuck in place. Where do we gotta go? Left? No, right. No, right. No, right. No, right. Let's go the slow way. Just make things more complicated, eh? Supposedly fast way. I don't know about you guys, but I personally hate summoners. Strongly depends what build I'm playing, but usually they're a nuisance. I really cannot stand them. Midas Dagger. Is that something I'd like to go for? It seems that... well, this item again. It seems that we're getting a lot of stuff that we don't necessarily want or need. No more night abilities. Is that gonna be helpful into lightning? Not really. Kind of, but not really. I'll go for this. I think it's a great pick with this build. Should I ever fuck up? And you know I will, because I love spamming my jumps instead of holding them back and actually playing smart. No, I just love spamming and fighting Surah right as he's attacking me, like, for the entirety of the duration. And no, I am not exaggerating whatsoever. I mean that wholeheartedly. This build is perfect for doing that. Just fucking perfect at doing that. Hey, finally we get some damage. Which one do we get though? And Heart Renders is very dangerous. It is very dangerous. Guess we'll get the glue. Hey boys. I don't know how I fucked that up. Of course, you can always stay back and just slowly fight your way through a room, but you could also just be a dumbass and have some fun with it, which I strongly prefer. I was spamming Shark there because I was expecting my dash on that button, which I had already removed prior, so... oh, again, wrong button. Let's just not do this. As strong as it may be, let's stick with our jumps. That's another... no, that's... is it the charged one? No, it's not. It's the charged thing you fire. It's the projectile Arcana. Okay, let's head back. We've got a long-ass way ahead. To be totally frank, I'm not used to using a lot of jump Arcana. Like, I'm used to using 2. 3 at most, because that's more than enough, usually, to get to 100% consistently and stick to that level. I was seriously not expecting that to be a mimic. How long does this hold on for, dude? Holy shit. How long do you have a barrier, good sir? Okay, let's see. I mean, this is trash, but it's extra damage, I suppose, which is nice. Singeing Bowl is okay. Yeah, let's go for this. Who needs damage anyway? This is not the greatest run, I'm gonna be honest, but it's okay. Just chain the motherfuckers. Chain them together. Okay, we still haven't gotten the upgrade we were desperately hoping for. I might have missed it, I'm not sure. I'm not sure at this point. Slowly creeping our way to stage 3. Not doing well here, but that's okay. Some runs, it just will be like that. I should absolutely equip the Shark. Since Fadeaway Rhythm doesn't even give us iframes anyway. I tried. Told you, we ain't patient on this one. Oh my. Would you look at that? Another jump Arcana I really, really dislike. At least this one works very nicely in place. Whereas Fadeaway Rhythm, you have to move, and it doesn't grant iframes. I really, really dislike Fadeaway Rhythm. Why am I keeping it, you might ask then? Because, first of all, we're fighting lightning here. Shark may deal a shitload of damage with this build. And be very, very strong. Essentially like a Claymore, but... the problem with it is... I don't know what I was gonna say, to be honest. I forgot. It's okay, it's okay. It do be like that sometimes. You are absolute bastards. Always cancelling me when I try to chain. I'm not used to fighting with glue. Which is probably very notable. Sorry, noticeable, since, you know, I just keep on taking damage every floor, which I am certainly not used to taking damage on every tiny piece of crap, every goddamn floor. Oh my god, do you need any more proof? Either way, still don't care. Just artificially keeping ourselves alive, which is okay. Okay. To be frank, we don't have a lot of damage. We do have defense, though. I hate this jump Arcana. It sucks. It also really sucks that we haven't received a single upgrade of our main Arcana. We're just rendered unable to use our main combo. Fuck you, dude. God damn. Come on. I was expecting a dead end, but... Come on, boy. That's not very polite. I'm just trying to find a an item here that could save a run. I do not know either what that would be. Damage, preferably. Not more defense. Oh my god, you are so obnoxious. Okay, what do we have here? A lot of cooldown reduction, which I certainly love. Dude, this item. Always useless, eh? Always useless. Let's grab this. And the healing part. Nah, not yet. Not yet. It's too early. We have a lot of armor. As long as we get hit or are low HP, which, yeah, that's pretty damn good. We're doing okay. Not fantastic or anything, but okay. Good enough. Should I use Blazing Vault here? I'm not sure. Let's grab the redundant healing part. And then maybe trade one Arcana here. Perfect. Thanks for the free item. Okay, moving on. 100 gold left with a Midas Dagger. That's not particularly impressive, but we haven't had any luck on the ticket, which is a 1 in 4 chance. It really should have come up. Haven't heard that sweet, sweet party sound of it proccing though, so I'm assuming we certainly didn't get anything for free so far. Trying to combo the lightning into the blaze. How are these guys surviving, man? I don't think I've ever seen that playing this build. I really don't have a bunch of damage, man. To be fair, I could be stacking jumps before heading into a room, but that's just kind of boring sometimes. Money. I like it. I like money. Thunder Drop has a huge delay after jumping. I don't think I really like that Arcana at all. You can't really use it in the moment. You have to use it preemptively. It really, really feels like a letdown at times. Again, Prismatic Vambrace? Vambrace? Is it a Vambrace? I don't know how to pronounce it. Whoever reads the item names, I know like 10, probably. Enhances your dash Arcana lowers its cooldown. I don't think that's usable. In this build, anyway. Not very useful. Man, that delay. Only works when you're being attacked. I'm not sure what we're gonna be going for here. I might actually get that against the black dudes, because I can't, for the love of God, kill them quick enough. I meant to preemptively blaze there, but I failed miserably. And I took like 60 damage. Holy crap. That's okay. We're only running jumps here. It's called iframes, motherfucker. Look it up. Ooh, more damage. A kind of damage we're not really gonna be using. So I'm gonna leave it behind, I'm sorry. Let's see if we can at least get some upgrades. Yes, we can. Not the kind of upgrade that I would have loved seeing, though, but... You know, what can you do? It's not what I'm gonna be going for, because I would lose... I would lose out on a lot of damage, because the Midas dagger... Thunderdrop seems to only work against knights, from what I've seen so far. Jumped straight into the pit. Just in case, man. Thieves are dangerous. It's dangerous to go alone in the dark. I think we can fuck off. We should have 20. No, we're still not at 20. You need like 500 or some shit. It's kind of ridiculous how much you need. None of these really seal the deal, in my opinion. Man, I really don't know. I really do not know. This certainly doesn't help much. Let's just get it. Let's grab it. We're not grabbing the auto attack enhancement gummy drops there. Wait, are they gummy drops? I don't know. Let's just call them sweets, alright? Let's hit the sweet spot. Pun intended. God, I was so fucking sluggish. I could barely outrun that shit. So I just decided to commit. And we get an upgraded fucking basic Arcana anyway. Oh my god, bro. You see that thunder drop delay every goddamn time? It's so fucking bad. I don't see how you would successfully use this Arcana. I don't think it's very good. Oh, summoners, man. Get the fuck out of my game, kid. I'd say Blaze is probably our main damage tool at this point. Heroic Blaze, that is, not the other one. Man, the crit heals are good. I could just survive merely on armor. Just the fact that I'm gonna be getting a shitload of armor. Hey, more basic attack enhancers. I'm at 20. Still getting a bunch of shit items. Supply crate. Okay, I guess I'm not very lucky, hey? We could go for this, which is a big damage down, so I would rather risk dying here than not having any damage. Which I feel like would be a much bigger detriment, though the healing, oh my god, yeah, it's not actually gonna do shit here. So we don't have gem healing. No! Well, let's just wait for cooldowns and go. This is not gonna go too well. I barely have any cooldown reduction. He said absolutely fucking destroying Sora. Holy shit. Yeah, that was absolutely worth the suffering. I consider this to be quite a bad run. I wouldn't even say mediocre. I don't think that was even average. Alright. I had a blast. I hope I could adequately present this build here. And I guess I'll see you around. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And goodbye.